But let me tell you what the call was about. So since BobiWine left the country, there's been a lot of stir-ups everywhere, just like there were before. The phone call that Museveni got that got him to fall, the minute he got the phone call, they told him in the phone call to make sure to remove military personnel or armed forces from His Excellency Kyagulanyi Ssentamu's home. It was an order. It was something he cannot refuse. It was something he least expected. It was something that he did not want to do. And so he felt belittled. He felt like he had no way out. In that instant that he received the phone call and the order, his phone fell off his ear and Museveni fell off the chair that he was sitting on. Immediately, they hurried up to get him on life support to try to get him to regain and rebuild because he had matters of national duties the next day. I think the following day he was seen in Kenya. Museveni lays down on oxygen every night. He's boosted by vitamins and all kinds of things to give him energy for the next day. It used to be when Museveni had to make a public appearance, the night before he would be on IVs for vitamins or all kinds of juices to get him all pumped up, energy drinks, whatever. That's why when Museveni comes out, sometimes you see him racing to try to show that he can run or he can jump or whatever those things that he does to try to be fit as Kyagulanyi Ssentamu. He has done push-ups at State House. It doesn't mean Museveni is always as pumped up every day, okay? He's pumped all night long to give him a booster to exist the next day. He doesn't wake up like that every day. But that time, when I posted that, it is true that because of that order, Museveni passed out. And you can see that yesterday, military and all uniformed personnel were ordered to leave Kyagulanyi's home. It was Museveni that was made arm-twisted to do that. He did not volunteer to do that. Okay? Next thing. Okay, so since Museveni ordered the armed forces away from Kyagulanyi Ssentamu's home, he's now trying to make a way to legitimately come back, send the military back into His Excellency's compound. As much as we are celebrating that they have left, he was arm-twisted to do it, and he's not happy about it, and now cooking up a way to get back. They want to now come back legally, okay? They're planning through Damulira and the ghetto structures that they have. They want to get about 60 ghetto youth, have them wear Noop t-shirts, and go to Kyagulanyi's home and raid it while chanting Kabanje or saying things like, "You have now left the country. You know, you dragged us into this thing. You've gotten us in jail. You've gotten some of us killed. You've gotten us in a lot of trouble. And yet now you have run away." They're going to say things like that. This whole mission is organized by Damulira. Okay? And these ghetto youth will come and destroy everything. And while this is happening, they will record the whole event. As you know, Museveni is dying to make His Excellency look like a terrorist or a rebel group. In any way he can do it, to paint him blue, black, and everything else. He will try. So this is an attempt to draw the military back. And so when these guys go and do this and demolish the home or destroy the home and do all kinds of things there, Museveni will then send a set of military and police, a combination of, to go back into that home and say that we told you that we're just guarding his home. Remember during the parliamentary sitting where Namuga, one of the new members of parliament, questioned the military executives at parliament about why they are in Kyagulanyi's home. To answer those questions, because one of the gentlemen said they are there to protect the home. And so they explained, what do you mean protect the home? And yet when you went there, that's when the destruction happened, and they couldn't answer the question. So because they looked really small, one of the things they're now going to do is to justify what that gentleman said, that they're occupying it to protect it, okay? So they will reoccupy Kyagulanyi's home again, officially, this time seeming legally. They will not have Ugandan military or policemen. They'll have SFCs, as usually. You have seen a lot of SFCs being infiltrated into the military. And also, I understand that the SFCs have been there a long time ago, since the time they occupied that home, because many people have been to that home, and when they talk to these people, they don't even know how to respond, because they're not Ugandans and they don't speak the language. Okay? Museveni is also requesting the same militia that was there the last few, during the election period. I think some of them came from Central Africa, and some obviously from Rwanda, and maybe some from Tanzania. Those militia groups that were present to help Museveni defend his thievery of the election results on the 15th of January, he's requesting that they come back to help him for his next projects, which I'm going to get into the project right now. Okay? So I hope they don't, but they just may, because somehow Museveni has a way of convincing these people. If not, he has a hold of them, on them, because Central African Republic is also another area where Museveni runs a government, just like he does in Sudan, Uganda, Rwanda, Kenya, and Tanzania. All those 5 countries are under his leadership. Okay? I understand Museveni is very sick and has issues day and night. Doctors keep asking him why he is so stressed, because he doesn't sleep. His pressure's up and down. The doctors that live at State House almost have to reside there now. They usually came to work and went home. They're now living there officially. Meanwhile, they say State House looks like a mourning house every day. You know, when somebody dies in a home, there's a looming coldness or like a casting shadow over the home, where there's no joy, there's no happiness, there's just existence. And that's how State House is. It's cold, it's quiet, it's not a home anymore, because they're suspicious of anything that could happen. So the doctors keep asking him why, what is the problem with him? Why can't he just calm down? He suffers from low blood pressure. Anybody who knows or has an idea about blood pressure, low is just as bad as high, if not worse. And Museveni suffers from low blood pressure. So when I say that he has high-low blood pressure, it means it steeps extremely low, that as he may not be receiving enough blood or oxygen to the places that need reliable source of blood, oxygen all the time. So low blood pressure means instead of going right where it needs to go, it goes tit, 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 not enough for sustenance of, for example, the brain. And that is why he's hooked onto machines almost every night. So the doctors are just flabbergasted. Like, why does this person always need medical care? So they asked Museveni, what is the problem? Museveni's biggest problem is that Kyagulanyi has been protected by Ugandans for over 2 months. And he can't believe that right under his nose, His Excellency Kyagulanyi Ssentamu was able to sustain life among local Ugandans, protected by the military, protected by the police, successfully exited the country through whichever border or airplane, protected by public servants, which is something that Museveni used to have. You know, when Museveni came to Uganda when he took over power, what he told Ugandans was everything they wanted to hear, because they were tired of bad government. They were tired of bad elections being stolen. They were tired of all the atrocities going on. So Museveni came and told Ugandans everything they wanted to hear. And that's why the Baganda especially protected Museveni with all their might, because he said the right things. Now, Museveni felt like he had won Ugandans and that he wouldn't lose it. But he did, unfortunately. In losing that, Museveni cannot continue to thrive like he used to be. Remember, he had already planned that by now there would be no opposition in the country. He's surprised at where Kyagulanyi Ssentamu showed up from and has taken up all the space, and he cannot exist with him at all. Not his son, not his fake oppositions, not his fake apologists. None of them make sense. Museveni even designed an opposition for himself, for him to look legitimate. Kyagulanyi is loved in and outside of Uganda. Kyagulanyi is in corridors and places where Museveni used to be. Even when Museveni says things like, how did he get out of the country? How did he get there? How did he do this? You know, when Museveni came, before he came, he was in Sweden, he was in Tanzania, he was in Uganda at his own wish. Nobody knew how he got here and there. So Museveni knows exactly the shoes in which Kyagulanyi Ssentamu walks in, and that's what causes him illness. Okay? So he's also upset because and worried because Kyagulanyi is in places where he has no control. He's in a jurisdiction where he can't leak information. Information cannot be leaked. He cannot send his spy network or whatever. Nobody in the diaspora that he used to pour money into responds to his calls anymore about what's going on. People are deserting Museveni left and right. Even those who used to handle his affairs abroad don't answer his phone calls. If they do, they give him just nonsense, or they just have no information to share. Okay? Kyagulanyi has beat him hands down. And that's what's going to hopefully take this man. Because at some point he's got to go. Museveni is also worried about who Kyagulanyi is meeting when he comes abroad. Obviously, he's meeting the movers and shakers of this world. Like he did when he came to power, so is it happening with His Excellency Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, so he knows exactly what that means.